What's good, y'all? And welcome back to the lab. It's your boy, your brother, none other than Ariel Inspires. Yes, y'all. And you don't stop. It's your boy, man. Welcome back to the lab. It's 2019. We in week 4 of 2019. Shout outs to everybody who made it to week 4. And remember, in order to win, do not give in, okay? In order to win, you can't give in. As I study success, as I study successful people, as I read books, as I watch interviews, as I talk to people who are successful in their field of business, in their life, or whatever they set out to do, the number one thing that they talk about is never quitting, never giving in. Do you know that just by not giving in, just by not quitting, just by not giving up, that you're 100% likely to succeed at whatever you set out to do? No matter what it is you set out to do, as long as you don't stop, you will always achieve it. As long as you don't quit, you will always achieve it. As long as you don't give in, you will always achieve it. Okay? Because we are only limited to what we put limits on our mind. Think about that for a minute. We're only limited to what we believe in our minds. If we believe in our minds we can't do it, we're right. We can't do it. If we believe in our mind that we can do it, we are right. We can do it. So the only limitations, the only failures that we have is when we put those things in our mind and we make them become a reality, okay? Your mind is a magnet. Remember, your mind is a magnet. So what you think about, you will attract. Your mind is a magnet. If you think about success, if you think about glory, if you think about winning, if you think about money, you will attract money, you will attract winning, you will attract what you desire. But if you think about losing, if you think about failure, if you think about negative outcomes, if you think about the worst situations, you will attract the worst situations, you will attract losses, and you will attract everything negative in your path. Your mind is a magnet. So as I study success, I study minds and I study the psychology behind it, because our minds create our reality. Your thoughts are things. Let that sink in. Your thoughts are things. What you think can come into existence. What you think, you can build. What you think, you can grow. But if you don't think it, it won't happen. Everything's happened mentally before it happens physically. It always is a thought first before it is in our physical reality. So your mind is a magnet, and allow your mind to attract the things that you want in 2019, okay? So, in order to win, do not give in. Never give in, never give up, okay? Failure is a trickster, and failure will trick you into stop chasing your dreams. Failure is a trickster, and it will stop you on the course of action in which you chose to be successful. Failure is a trickster, and it will make you think that there is no coming back. There is always another way, right? I'm reading this book, Think and Grow Rich. And in the book, he talks about 3 feet from gold in the first chapter. And this man was 3 feet from gold, okay? He was digging, he was mining gold. He found a little bit. He went back to his family. He went back to some investors, and he got more machinery, and he got more support, because he found some, right? So everyone's investing in him now. Everyone believes in him. So he goes with this machinery and his partner, and they go back digging for gold, digging for gold, digging for gold, digging for gold, and he didn't find it. After a while of digging for gold and digging for gold and digging for gold, he quit. He gave up. He stopped right in his tracks. He stopped, okay? And then he sold the machinery to a junkyard man, because he was going home. He was going back to tell everybody, listen, I gave up. I failed. I'm sorry. I didn't find the gold. Forgive me. I'll pay you back, right? So he goes in back and he's apologizing to everybody. So the junkyard man took this equipment and he's like, there may be gold here. He's digging for gold. So what the junkyard man did is he went and sought expert advice. And what the expert told him was that the guys digging for gold didn't study the fault lines. So what he knew was, according to the fault lines, gold was 3 feet away. That guy had stopped digging 3 feet from gold, 3 feet from riches, 3 feet from wealth. Wow. Imagine knowing you were 3 feet away from your goals, away from your dreams, and you stopped. Guess what? Don't stop. Don't give in. When you think you can't find it, when you think there's no other answers, when you think all is lost, don't stop, don't quit. Don't give up. Don't give in. Seek expert advice, okay? Seek advice from somebody who's doing what you want to do. Read a book, okay? Watch an interview. Do something. It's 2019. We have access to people. We have access to information. We have access to books. Come on. We cannot give up in 2019. There is absolutely no reason for any of us to give up. Take a rest. Take a break. Refresh. Don't give up. Rest. Stop. Take a break. Refresh. Don't give up, okay? Never, ever, ever give up. In order to win, do not give in. Failure will trick you into thinking you would never accomplish that which you set out to do. That's not true. Failure wants to trick you. Don't allow failure to trick you. Don't allow failure to trick you, okay? Use failure as a stepping stone towards your next success. What do I mean by that, right? Let's take, for instance, the Japanese in Pearl Harbor. When the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor in America, they defeated America to a certain extent, which also was the start of the Cold War, right? So after they went back to Japan, they were celebrating. The captain of the Japanese army said, "I fear we have woke up a sleeping giant." Why would he say that if he just won? Because he knew that America could use that failure and to come back and go to war on Japan. So what did America do? They wore that loss on their sleeve. They wore that loss on their heart. They wore that loss within their whole entire being, and they used that loss in their mindset to say, we're going to go over here and we're going to attack, and we're not going to lose, and we're not going to quit, and we're not going to give up. We're going to do everything that we can in order to win. And what did America do? They went back and attacked, and they won. They defeated the Japanese army after the bombing of Pearl Harbor because they used that loss as fuel. They used that loss as drive. They used that loss as a stepping stone toward their next victory in the war. So what I'm here to tell you is use that loss, use that loss, use that as fuel for your next victory. Okay? There was a time when I was growing up and I wanted to be a basketball player, right? And I didn't make the team. But what did I do? I did not allow that loss or allow that L to make me give up on playing basketball. What I did was I practiced, I trained harder, and I trained harder. And the next year, I was on the basketball team. Okay? So use your losses as fuel for your next victory. Okay? Wear your losses on your sleeve. In 2019, it's all about transparency. All right? If it took you 3 years to accomplish everything that you wanted to do, use those 3 years as fuel, as a testimony to help the next generation so that they can be successful and that they can avoid some of the pitfalls that you had to go through, okay? And some of the things that we can use while on our journey to success is the 3 Ps. And the 3 Ps is patience, and this blew my mind when I looked it up because a lot of us probably don't know what patient means according to the dictionary. And when I looked it up, I was like, wow, that's a great definition. And it means to bear pain or trials without complaint. And it also means to be steadfast despite opposition, difficulty, or adversity. How many of us use patience out of context? I remember just a couple minutes ago when I'm giving my daughter some chips and both of my daughters are fighting for the chips. I'm like, y'all gotta be patient, okay? And I'm like, wow, they have to be patient, meaning they have to wait, bear the trial of waiting for someone else. It all made sense to me. Being patient is bearing the pain. You got to bear the pain when you're on your road to success. You got to bear the pain when you're on your journey. You got to bear the pain when there's a wall in front of you and you feel like there's no way around the wall. You got to be patient when life knocks you down. You got to be patient when life kicks dirt in your face. You got to be patient when you feel like everything is burdening and holding you down and keeping you back from being successful. Whether it's your parents, whether it's your friends, whether it's school, whether it's your ignorance of not knowing how to start or where to go for help, you have to be patient. You have to bear the adversity. You have to bear the pain despite opposition, okay? And then the next thing you got to do is you got to practice. And practice means to perform work at repeatedly or become proficient in systematic exercise, okay? You have to repeat work until proficient. We all have to practice. This thing is not going to come overnight. This thing is not going to come in 6 months to a year. It's not going to come in 30 days. But if you give it 30 days, if you give it 6 months to a year, if you give it time and practice, you will get better. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Practice has never failed anyone. The best players, from Kobe Bryant to Michael Jordan to Tom Brady to Russell Westbrook to Stephen Curry, all practice. All of these athletes practice. They practice day in and day out. When their body aches, they practice. When their mind is exhausted, they practice. When they're physically exhausted, they practice. You have to practice and you have to be patient. So keep those 2 P's in mind. And the last one is you gotta be productive. And productive means having the quality or power of producing an abundance effective in bringing out. So you have the quality or power of producing an abundance. Okay? You got to be productive in 2019, not busy. Busy is an excuse for being lazy. We don't want to be lazy. We don't want to be busy. We want to be productive. We want to be able to see what we are doing and what is growing. We want to be able to use our power within us. We are all powerful to produce an effectiveness and abundance. We want to be able to bring out that which we are doing. We want to be able to produce for everyone around us, our families, our businesses, our relationships, for whatever it is. We have to be productive. We have to make steps. We can't be busy no more. We have to be productive now. We have to say, okay, I set out to accomplish writing this book. I wrote this book and I wrote a page a day, or I wrote a page a week, or I wrote a page an hour, or whatever you set out to do. You have to be productive at what you set out to do. You have to be able to produce in abundance, okay? We have to be productive. We can't be consumers. We have to be producers. Now, in order to be entrepreneurs, business owners, in order to keep our jobs, to get a raise, whatever it is we want to do, we have to be productive, okay? We have to be patient, we have to practice, and we have to produce/be productive, okay? When you're patient, you're bearing the pain or the trials without complaint, all right? You're going through it no matter what. When you practice, you repeat the work until proficient, all right? Systematic exercises, okay? Systematic exercises. And as you be patient in your practice, you start to produce, right? Start to produce that which you set out to do. You start to produce more money. You start to produce more love in your relationship. You start to produce as a better father, as a better construction worker. You start to produce better outcomes in abundance for whatever you put your hands to. Why? Because you're powerful. And when you use your power to be great, and when you use your power to do right, you start to produce and you start to excel at whatever it is you want to do. So, carry these 3 P's with you everywhere you go. Patience, practice, and productivity, or produce. Whatever it is you want to use, carry these 3 P's with you and make sure you use them at every step in life. And never forget, in order to win, do not give in. Be patient, stay practicing, stay producing. It's your boy Ariel, and we out. Thanks for watching. Listen, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Make sure that you're watching, and make sure that you never give in, okay? Last story, right? There was this army, and they went to war. And when they got to sea, when they got to the shore, they burned their ships. You know why they burned their ships? Because they said, we not leaving here unless we win. All right? Win or perish. It's not win or quit. All right? Win or perish. Not win or give up. Not win or give in, okay? We're going to win. We're not going to give in, and we're not going to give up. Peace.